All right, guys. Hey. Good morning. Well, boot camp wouldn't work. I couldn't live stream on boot camp, so I'm going to be recording this one. And for some reason, I'll talk to Amy, but I can't live stream here either. So this is morning mantra on Tuesday morning. Number 22. We're going to start seated. So take your yoga blanket or beach towel, place it underneath your bum, and just find that seated position. I'm sitting up nice and tall, eyes closed. So we feel like our base, our hips, our root chakra, if you're into chakras, is the widest point on the ground. And just here begin to connect your breath. Feel your breath rise up to your belly and chest. And as you exhale, pull it back down. It's kind of different than the sideways expansion, right? You're coming from bottom up. And exhaling right back down to that strong base. And just begin to drop your chin to your chest. Feel the back of the neck stretch. And then one ear to shoulder. Still staying connected to your breath. And just observing tightness anywhere in your neck and shoulders. And just gently moving your head from side to side, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. And then hold your chin towards your chest. Clasp your hands behind you and just try to lift your hands up behind you. Open the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades. And then release your arms back down. We're going to take a deep breath, arms straight up overhead. And as you exhale, bring the right hand to the floor and the left arm. Reach up and over. Push deeply into your right hand to really tack your left hip down more. Breathe up. Exhale, hand to floor. And as you inhale, push more into your left arm. Push the right hip down more. And again, just maybe observing any tension in the side body. You may start to feel, as you're stretching, tension in sort of the flanks, the hips. And then we'll try to twist here. So inhale the arms out. As you exhale, twist toward the right. Hook your left hand outside your right thigh. Use the hand behind you just to lift your spine more. Whatever feels good with your head. You can drop your chin down or maybe neutral. Last time to the side. And then just reach your arms forward. Give yourself a nice long stretch here. You're almost in downward dog, upper body. And then release back. Take your blanket out. We're going to start with a little bit of core. So roll onto your back. I'm going to go sideways. So you're lying on your back, knees to chest. Gently rock side to side. We'll begin with legs bent. So legs in tabletop, hands right up over your shoulders. Pull your navel in. So think from your tailbone to your shoulders, you're imprinting into the ground. We're going to take one heel at a time to the floor on an exhale, but keep pulling belly in. Inhale, come back. Exhale, and keep the back of your shoulders grounded into the floor. There's a lot of energy in this work here. So there's a lot of energy of imprinting the back of your hips, your belt line, your lower ribs, upper ribs, and shoulders. Now if you can, opposite arm goes as well. Inhale to come back. Exhale to drop. Inhale to come back. So obviously the opposite arm, opposite leg is going to be a little bit more challenging. And if that's the case and your lower back starts to come off the floor, continue to try to engage your belly like there's a heavy bag of sand or block on your belly. And then the last would be if you can take both heels and both hands to the floor. This one should be the most challenging. And the heels can come further away from your body, but I don't want your legs straight, okay? We're gonna do 2 more at whatever place challenges you the most, yet you can stay grounded in your entire torso. And then 1 more. So whatever level you chose, you should have a little light shake here. And then gently take the heels to the floor. So your heels are to the floor, so close that you should be able to touch them with your fingertips. Middle toes facing forward so your feet are straight. Peel the tailbone off the floor. Now you're engaging the back body here and stretching the muscles you just worked. So squeeze to come up and then slowly roll back down. And then 1 more time, squeeze to come up. Now we're going to stay here, and I want you to think of the pubic bone lifting by engaging your back body and lifting. So right here, we're just going to take the right leg to the ceiling. You're going to lower the hips and then squeeze and press into the left leg to go back up. So we're engaging 1 glute at a time. Just 2 more here. And then this is going to be your last one. Hold up there and then engage a bit more. Extend the legs straight out so knees are side by side and then right up to the ceiling. So we're really challenging the left glute, which is part of your core, to stabilize this movement. Last one here. Hold that leg up and then lower yourself all the way to the floor. Now we're going to do a straight leg raise here on the floor. So give me a little hamstring stretch here. Opening the hip flexor here. 2 more times. And this will be last one. And then right there, just point and flex your foot. Circle the ankle. And really marvel at what a miracle your whole body is, but the foot and ankle is so intricate. And then do what I call Barbie Asana. So point the ankle, plantar flexion, but then flex the toes. So you have that spread of the toes as if you had a stiletto on. And then slowly bring that foot to the floor. And then squeeze and lift up again. So re-engage here. We don't want any side to side movement. So stay grounded by pushing down into your feet and then into the shoulder girdle. Left knee, you're going to take that foot up. Good. And then lower the hip. Drive through the right leg. It helps. You can bend your elbows to use your forearms a little bit more here. The biggest challenge would be if you can hold your arms straight up and still not have any lateral movement in the pelvis. You get 2 more here. A lateral movement in your stabilizing thigh. You're going to keep that one just moving away. Now stay here. Take the left leg parallel to the right and then to the ceiling. Push firmly into the right foot. You've got to create the activation and the stability in that hip. Last one here. Lower the pelvis to the ground. Keep your left toes dorsiflex, so toes pulling towards shins. Straight leg raise. Stretch left calf and extend. You may only get that leg here. Go as far as you can to keep the left hip on the floor. 1 more. Now as you hold up there, point and flex. And then circle that ankle. Both directions. And then dorsiflex, and then go into plantar flex and spread the toes. And then gently release. Now we're going to move our way into a roll-up. So extend your legs nice and long. Your low back will naturally come off the floor here. But I still want you to imagine a sandbag on your belly, okay? Peel your head and shoulders off the floor. Reach the arms along your thighs. Now ground in like you're trying to push your pelvis. And now you're trying to push the belt line all the way into the floor as you roll up. As you come up, come all the way nice and straight back. And then roll yourself back down. Tuck, 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 tuck. Imprint and roll back down. If you need to, Hands can come to the floor to help you through any part of that. The last thing though, we don't want to use momentum to come up. So you can now begin to maybe bring your hands halfway or all the way over your shoulders. Ground, ground, push down to rise up. You get 2 more. Exhale to go up. So breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Keep pushing in that pause. Find some length. Inhale to go down, just as slow. And this is our last one. Blow that air out. And right here, let's give it a twist. So turn your heart toward the right, bring the right arm down, left arm down, and use the right arm as a lever, or as a second spine to get more height. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, twist the other way. Now we're going to stay up high for our last sequence here, into boat pose. So you're going to lean back, but with a long spine. Hold the legs up. You can hook your hands behind the hamstring, okay? Or if you can, so from that level one, you're going to lean out and then come back up. Use power to draw thighs, touch ribs, ribs to thighs. And level 2, you're just going to take the arms out. Lean back, lift up. Level 3, you can lift those arms way up. I'll fall backwards. I have a hard time with that. Inhale, exhale. Pull back. Think heart lifting to the ceiling. 2 more times. Last one. Cross the ankles. Bring your weight to tabletop position on your mat. And then we're going to power the back body. So right here, just a cat-cow. So drop your belly, lift the tailbone, draw your shoulders back, big contraction in the back body, and then exhale, cat lift. So remember your cow, you're going to contract shoulders back, like you're trying to bring your shoulders to your tailbone to your shoulders. Cat, same thing but underneath, pubic bone to the crown of the head. One more time. And then exhale. And now it's just some stability here. Slide the right foot back. Lift the leg hip height without going into that cow pose, right? You're going to pull your belly under. Reach the left arm nice and long. And then switch to the other side. So left leg goes back, leg lifts, low back is nice and steady. We're going to just alternate that. So inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, go back to the floor. Inhale, the opposite side. Pause, reach longer. Exhale, one more time each way. Inhale. Exhale. Last one on this side. Inhale. And then exhale. Now, step both feet out and come into high plank position here with your feet fairly wide. So they're out to the outside edges of the mat. Now press firmly into the hands, spiral your elbow creases forward, draw your shoulders back. So the slight pressure into the shoulder girdle. Right knee to right elbow and back. Left knee to left elbow and back. Right knee to right elbow. Now your toes can lightly touch the ground. Foot off the floor. It's going to make this a little more challenging. You've got one more on each side. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, push back to downward facing dog. Now lift up your heels and wave your body forward into plank. Take the front of your thighs to the knees to the floor. Bend the elbows lower all the way down. Now sweep your arms forward into an I position. Your feet are hip width apart, toes pointed on the floor. So eyes down to the floor. We're going to lift the upper body. Pull the arms back into cactus arms, reach forward and lower back down. So inhale, exhale, pull back, hold the height as you inhale and reach forward and lower back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale for the height, ribs lifted, chest lifted. Exhale to pull back and contract more. Inhale to come forward and lower down. Now we're going to add on to this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the elbows and lift the feet. Keep the feet lifted as you extend further. Lower everything back down. Inhale, upper body lifts. Exhale, feet lift as you bend the elbows. Inhale, keep everything lifted. Exhale, lower down. You've got one more. Inhale, just the upper body. Exhale, feet lift, elbows bend. Now take the arms and legs out wide. Sweep back to the I position and lower down. Two more. Inhale, just the upper body. Exhale, bend the arms, lift the feet. Inhale, extend everything out. Exhale, bring everything forward, and then come back down again. You got one more. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, feet lift, arms bend. And then inhale, expand. Exhale, back to center. Hands come to your sides. Lift the body up. Push back slowly into child's pose. Your low back's gonna be tight here. So with your knees together here, you're gonna get a stretch in the low back. And then gently and slowly, tabletop position once again. So in tabletop, tuck your toes and draw your hips way back. And then lift your knees. Lift back to downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet up. You can tent your fingers here to get some height in your hips. Walk your feet halfway up the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Spread your toes apart with your fingers. Make sure the feet are straight and parallel. Let your head hang here. So we've now prepared the core, front and back. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift the rib cage, halfway lift. Exhale back into your forward fold. Lower the hips like you're going into chair pose. Bring the arms forward. We're gonna pause here. So push your hips back. Draw your navel in, tailbone tuck, so the low back feels nice and stretched. Sweep the arms down, rise all the way up. And disappear here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back into the halfway lift. Remember your halfway lift, knees don't have to be straight. They can be slightly bent. If they can go straight, they can go straight. But you're like in an L shape. Exhale to the forward fold. Now lean forward. You can use finger stands or flat palms. You can even use fists here as you step back into your high plank. Take the front of your thighs, so knees to the floor. Heart comes forward. Bend the elbows and they stay in at your ribs all the way down to the floor. Now keep your toes pointed or tucked under, your choice. As you pull the mat back, squeeze the back of your shoulders. So imagine you're trying to pull your hands back so your heart comes forward a little here. Squeeze the bum, really push the pelvis into the ground for your baby cobra. Find your way back to child's pose. Tuck your toes here. Lift your knees off the floor. Extended bear crawl. So this one looks like this from child's pose here. Tuck your tail under and then lift into downward facing dog. Stay there in dog. That's a great transition from your upward facing pose to your down dog to keep the low back protected. Now take your feet together here. Right leg's gonna go straight back toward the wall behind you and then lift it a little. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Keep your left shoulder square here. So your left shoulder doesn't rotate open. Go back to three-legged dog. Lift up your left heel so you're way high on the left foot. Way elbow and knee meet on the right side. Bend the elbow a little, challenge this. Come back up 2 more times. Bend a little. Your right foot can be on the floor. Now scoot the right leg right back into plank. You're going to pivot the heels to the left, toes to the right, side plank on the left. Reach the right arm up. Now here you can take your bottom knee to the ground if you need to. Or you can just take your right foot and leave it on the ground, or your feet are stacked. Sweep the right arm down. Heart comes forward again, knees or toes this time as you lower down to the floor. Point the toes, pull the mat back to prepare, so contract the shoulders together, lift the heart, and if you'd like upward facing dog, just push further into the mat through your feet and your hands. Pelvis still strong here. Lift the rib cage, hinge the body into downward facing dog. Now know you have that first level option from baby cobra to child's pose to bear to down dog. Left leg goes straight back this time, slightly up, heel to bum. Square shoulders, make sure the shoulders don't move as you bring the left foot over to the left side. Little hip opener, hamstring. Square back off, lift up your right heel, bring the left knee to the left upper arm. Foot can be on the floor, bend the elbows and push. It can be really small. You can bring your face to the floor if that's available. And then shoot back to plank. Feet together, heels to the right, toes to the left. Side plank here, bottom knee option available. Staggered foot is available. Lift the hips. Breathe here. Sweep the left arm down, back into plank, heart forward, lower, lower, lower. This is a negative push-up here, so lots of control there. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. And then find your way back to down dog. Take a full breath there. Now slowly walk your feet halfway up the mat. Again, tented fingers helps here. Walk up to the mat, exhale, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lower the hips to rise. Exhale, right back into that forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step hop. You can float your feet back, so lean into the hands, engage the core, and just shoot both feet back into your high plank. Heart comes forward, knees or toes lower. Inhale to lift into your favorite upward facing pose. Exhale to downward facing dog. However you get there, your choice. I like to use a different one every time. Feet together this time, right leg lifts up to the sky. Step the right foot to the right thumb. Help it get there. You can grab the ankle and help it get there if you'd like. We're gonna go into lunge here. So left knee to the ground. Hands to the front thigh. Careful here to keep your low ribs tucked in, the pubic bone driving forward and engaging the glutes, especially on the left side, to get the left hip to open more. So imagine here you're pulling the left knee forward and the right heel back a little bit here. Take the arms up, still maintaining spinal integrity. Closed twist, you're gonna turn your heart to the right, bring the right arm behind you to maybe to the low back or down toward the floor. Left arm is gonna hook around the right thigh. So you get this connection of left wrist to right knee. Press both into one another. Take a deep breath in, heart goes more to the right. Exhale, come back to center. So left hand's gonna stay on the floor, right hand's gonna go to the thigh. Inhale the left leg up off the ground. And then draw the heart to the right. We're gonna twist again. This is a closed twist. Anytime your heart's moving toward the body. So think big activation here. Sweep the hand to the floor. Inhale, float the back leg in and go right into your halfway lift. Exhale to your fold. Bend the knees, lower the hips, rise. Push down into your feet. Exhale. I'm sorry that I keep disappearing. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to your fold. Hands to the floor. Step hop, however you want to get back to your high plank. Remember to bring your heart forward here before you execute the negative push-up, the lowering. Contract the back body to lift. Exhale to find your downward dog, and then take a full breath here. Now the left leg's gonna lift up to the sky, right heel lifts up high, step left foot to left thumb. Again, you can always help it get there if you need to. Right knee to the floor, hands to the front of the thigh. Belly engages here as we lift. Take a breath here. So squeeze the right butt cheek to get the hip flexor to open. And from here, extend the pose. Breathe in. Heart rotates to the left, arms come down. You can even hook left arm around the right, or you can just place it on your low back and push down and slightly forward to increase that hip flexor stretch on the right. Come back to center, reach up. Sweep the arms down. We're gonna take left hand to thigh, right hand to the floor. A fist is nice here if you have wrist issues. Tented fingers or flat palm. Tuck the back toe, lift up the back thigh. And then exhale as you twist. Draw your navel. Imagine you're pulling your belly button off your thigh. If you'd like to reach the left arm up. And the goal here is that the left knee doesn't fall outward. It keeps pulling inward, creating that inner tension of inner thigh, heart to thigh, hand to the floor. Inhale, float the back leg in and right into your halfway lift. And then exhale to your fold. Lower the hips. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep down to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to step, hop, or jump back to your high plank. Pause there to find that strong plank. And then heart forward, knees or toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, contract the back body to open the front body. Exhale, find your downward dog. Take a full breath here and bring the feet together. So inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to right thumb. Hang here and look back at your left foot. We're going into warrior one. So the back heel comes down on an angle. Push the floor away to reach up. So your front toes, the toes at the top of the mat, are straight forward. Knee is directly in line with the ankle, same direction as the toes. Your back heel's turned in a little bit. So we're going to get this calf stretch, slight hip opening in the left side. So draw both of your hips, right hip back, left hip forward. Arms are, if they can go up, they go up. If you're not comfortable with your hands overhead, you can clasp them behind. Or even leave the hands on the thigh. Out to the side. What feels good for you? And now we're going to rotate the torso to the left. You'll feel that right knee want to torque in. That's your work. Inner thigh activation, glute activation to keep that femur aligned. Free up the left heel to pivot. So the left toes have now become straight. There's no angle to the back foot anymore. Front toes remain, knee, ankle, in line, heart to the side. Now I want you to just take your hands to heart center. Press your thumb into your chest. Try not to lean to the right. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. And there's this energy you're working between your feet. Like you're almost trying to pull the mat apart. Your baby toe on your left foot, your back foot is really firmly rooted down. Just to express the pose, imagine you're pulling energy apart with your hands as you reach out. Now we're going to straighten the right leg, front leg. Lift the ball of the foot, pivot the toes so all 10 toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Take your hands to your hips, right where your thigh meets your pelvis. Maintain a flat back as you hinge forward. And then you can lower. A block is nice here if you're feeling hamstring tightness so they can lift you up. Hands to the floor, pull you down. Now the more you tighten the front of your thighs, as if you're trying to pull your knees up, you're going to get your back of your thighs to lengthen a bit more. Now right here, just bend one knee and then bend the other. Observing, just like we did with that neck stretch in the beginning, observe any tightness in the hamstrings, inner thighs. And come back to straight arms, so straighten the arms. Hold that belly strong here as you bring your hands back to the thighs and push down into your feet and tighten your thighs to draw back up. Now we're going to once again kind of walk the right foot in a little bit, lift up the heel, pivot, and then revisit your warrior two. So see if you can get a little lower. And then gently pull the arms apart once again, widen up. Now we're going to kind of lighten up the back heel, windmill the arms. So pick up your left heel, windmill the arms. You're going to momentarily be in that lunge position that we were in earlier. And we did that lunge with the closed twist, right? So right here, brace, inhale, step the back leg in, right into your halfway lift. Exhale to your forward fold. Lower the hips to rise, so push down to rise. Exhale, sweep down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. So we do that halfway lift and fold a lot. Hands to the floor, step, hop, or jump back. Find your high plank. Knees or toes. Exhale to your low plank. Belly to the floor here. Choose whether you want to baby cobra or upward. And then exhale down. Take a breath here to prepare downward facing dog as we prepare the left side. Left leg lifts. Step it through, help it get there if you need to. Back heel down. Find that grounding first. Take all the time you need here to get those feet grounded. Baby toe side of the back foot grounded. Square the hips. So again, you're gonna get this right kind of calfy stretch. Feeling the power and stability of, maybe even spreading your left toes a little more. And then bring your hands to heart center and prepare for that warrior two. So rotate the torso a bit until you feel that left knee want to change. Then adjust the right foot. I always seem to have to adjust my left foot more centered here. As you express, imagine you're pulling a shirt open. So really feel this pose, how broad and wide it is, but how grounded it is by lowering the pelvis. Straighten the front leg, lift up the heel, pivot the foot. And I'll have to make an adjustment because I step forward. This time we're going to clasp our hands behind our body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Front low ribs stay tucked in. So it's easy when you do this to flare the ribs. Keep the ribs tucked in. When you hinge here, you're getting long, just like your halfway lift. Right, long spine, and then lower. Hands to the floor if you need it, if you can. Begin to lift those arms if your shoulders allow. Breathe here, steady breath. Remember to tighten up your thighs. As if you're drawing your kneecaps up towards your hips. Hands come back to your low back. Eyes come to the floor and hands to hips. Push down to rise. Now we're going to keep that right foot the way it is. Left foot's going to lift. You're going to pivot and right back into that warrior two. So don't be afraid to make any minor adjustments to your feet. We're going to lighten up the right heel, the back heel, and pivot and windmill the arms down to the floor. Step forward, float the leg in, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Lower the hips to rise once again. Sweep the arms, exhale, fold. Inhale, step hopper, jump back. Pause there, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift all the way up. Now stay here in baby cobra and then transfer back into child's pose as we begin to prepare for meditation. Slowly find your way back into tabletop. And give yourself a bit of a cat and a cow. Cross your ankles one over the other and draw your hips back. Find your way to your bum. So, you may choose, Alexa, play Liquid Mind. You may choose to stay right here for your meditation, right where we started. And it's a good place to put that blanket back up on your pelvis and see how that, having your hips, even just your pelvis, your pubic bone and the base of your sacrum a little higher than your knees is all you need. So remember, we only do a 30-minute yoga, moving our bodies in all directions, just to create some warmth in the joints, activate muscles, especially core stabilizers. I say this morning mantra is your work in, not your workout. The rest of your day is your workout. Move your body as much as you can. Your morning meditation is just a connection, and your work in, your 30-minute yoga, is just moving all the joints and connecting to your body. Creating a little sweat, there should be a little sweat, so that you can be still. To set your day. So just a 30-minute physical practice. Connecting to the body so that you can be still for, we'll go for 5 today, but you can stay for as long as you like. I like to use a quote or a passage or reading to help us guide our intention. Not so much our thoughts. We want to let our thoughts go here, but you are not the same person you once were. You've leveled up. You've matured. You've transformed. And you're doing the work required to know better. So forget the old, embrace the new, and never stop trying to figure out how to keep on your best path in this life. And we talked earlier this week about, we often come, am I doing the right thing? And being still and asking yourself those questions. And in that stillness, listening to the intuition, to your heart, if you will. Does it feel right? We're all born and hardwired with this intuition for right. So it can be so freeing to know that you have that access. Call it whatever you will, divine intelligence. Each cell in your body is programmed to do what's right. And so are you as a whole. And often it just takes stillness to listen. We're too busy Googling, looking it up and asking people and seeing what other people think, and there's so much information out there, but there's even more, a vast amount of information within you. And again, call it divine intelligence or intuition. So here, just be still. Marvel at that vastness within you, behind your eyes. Between your cells. So in this last minute, if your mind starts to wander like, what's next, or I'm bored, or so many things come up, it helps connect to your breath. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I am still. Just something to guide that mind back to stillness. And then here, just softly blink your eyes open. Oh, I have my eyes closed. The clouds are out now. The sun's out. That's great. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up. This is just an expression of acceptance for this day. What comes, comes. Maybe a little less controlling, a little less open to magic in your day. Take your palms together, thumb knuckles to your forehead, your wisdom, your knowledge. Find something today that uplifts you, that you can read or learn. Maybe a recipe, something new to cook, or a passage that inspires you. Thumb knuckles to your lips, your voice. Speak only lovingly to yourself and others, especially yourself. Thumb knuckles to your heart. And connecting those 3 points, bow forward. I thank your body for all it does for you. And enjoy this day on this beautiful planet in your amazing body that you get to travel in. All right, I'm going to upload this to boot camp, Sunrise Boot Camp. See you guys, have an awesome day.